And now let's go around the world, where we look at China's footprint on the globe. We're going to start with the Hong Kong-based Phoenix Television. Beijing will look into the Edward Snowden case to determine whether he is an asset or a liability to China's national security. But it will be handled in a low-profile manner to avoid upsetting the Sino-US relationship and being seen as meddling in Hong Kong affairs. Snowden's revelation that the US government has been hacking into Hong Kong and mainland networks for years has put Beijing in an awkward position. China State Television, CCTV, reported on the Snowden case for the first time last night, saying that the whistleblower risked his own life to expose US hypocrisy. China Daily noted that the irony that the US surveillance program was exposed just as it began ramping up pressure on Beijing, saying the exposure is certain to stain Washington's overseas image and test developing Sino-US ties. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Hua Chunying reiterated yesterday that China was one of the biggest victims of hacking attacks, but gave no details about Snowden. A senior researcher at the central government think tank, which specializes in Hong Kong and Macau affairs, speaking on condition of anonymity, said Beijing could not deliver official instructions to Hong Kong, as this would be deemed inappropriate under the one country, two systems principle. But the researcher said that Beijing and Washington could hold secret discussions on the case, and both sides would want to maintain a calm atmosphere at the moment. Washington should be concerned if Snowden appealed to a Hong Kong court to overturn an extradition order, because more explosive details could emerge at any court hearing. According to Professor Wang Fan of Beijing Foreign Affairs University, Beijing would prefer to communicate with Washington via diplomatic channels to verify Snowden's claims, but would not want to damage positive sentiment for bilateral ties in the wake of President Xi Jinping's two-day summit with Barack Obama last weekend. However, Professor He Qisong, a defense policy analyst at Shanghai University, suggests that Beijing would rather examine the intelligence obtained by Snowden through a meeting between he and Hong Kong authorities. That would avoid Beijing being seen as directly meddling in the affair, which could upset the US. Peking University International Relations professor Jia Qinghuo reiterated that Beijing would prefer that Snowden stay in Hong Kong for the time being so that he can verify his intelligence and determine whether it posed a threat to China's national security. Beijing could overturn a decision to extradite a person to the US if the case was related to the nation's diplomacy and national security. Jia added that the matter does seem related to national security, but Sino-US relations are also important for Beijing, complicating the issue. According to Shi Yinhong, a professor of international relations at Renmin University, Snowden's revelations have given Beijing the upper hand in cybersecurity negotiations with Washington, particularly for the upcoming Sino-US strategic and economic dialogue to be held next month. Well, that really is developing into quite an interesting story there.